Remember how I read that book, Merchants of Doubt, a couple months ago? It was all about the oil company propaganda going back to even back in 1950 and how it's shaped the whole conversation we're having now, today, and the whole future of the climate is shaped by all of those ads and marketing and propaganda. This is a Guardian article that outlines some of these. Look at 1984, lies they tell our children. And look, I haven't seen that yet as a 2026 marketing campaign, but gosh, I feel like we're just right on the verge of that one. Here's carbon footprints invented in 2003, uses a term by the oil industry to put the blame on us as individuals and not on them. I found this Guardian article and Merchants of Doubt really eye-opening in the sense that society has really been programmed by these memes and these ads and by climate denial propaganda. Stuff is used at the highest levels of the United States government. For example, and they've connected this story that climate change is fake, and now that's going into climate policy. 2 weeks ago, this is the EPA's website. 2 weeks ago, the Trump administration removed the line that said this was called the endangerment finding, which said that greenhouse gases threaten the public health and welfare of current and future generations. They took that out. That story that began in 1950 and has been really perfected, it's going back into force in policy. We also saw this a couple months ago in the report from the DOE, this critical review of the impacts of greenhouse gas, where they were saying like, you know what, actually more carbon dioxide in the air might be better. And it's more than stories. It's more than advertising and reports. These are leading to policy changes, and these stories are used to justify policy changes. So you guys, let's put the power of memes to good use. How do we create our own stories, our own memes to have people take action on reversing climate change? Now you might say, oh, but we already do. We have books and things like that. My evidence that we don't yet have memes that work for billions of people is that you can measure the carbon dioxide outside, and it is higher than it's ever been in human history, and it's on the rise. That is evidence that we don't yet have memes that work for billions of people. We have tons of scientific reports, we have graphs, we have charts. They're very accurate, they're very peer reviewed, and for the most part, most people don't care. Memes and stories are what grab attention, they get talked about, and this is a tool to reshape how we pursue a stable climate for everybody. So maybe this is like the Jedi Strikes Back. Maybe we come up with memes to have people appreciate clean air and clean water, appreciate a stable climate at such a level that those stories translate back into policy and back into innovation and back into science. If people cared, and not cared, I think generally a lot of people do care about a stable climate. But if people believed that it was possible and they believed that it was something they wanted, then there would be funding, there would be debates, there would be projects, there'd be growth, there'd be all of those things happening towards making that story, that belief, a reality. Now, to win at the meme game, there's many people needed. We have a lot of scientists and innovators in the AirMiners community, in the reversing climate change community, and some of those people are good at making memes and making stories. And I don't know how many communicators and designers and folks like that we have, but this might be more strongly a calling for you than turning a wrench or opening a CAD program or something like that. The biggest problem in the changing climate right now is at that storytelling level. We have human society has incredible storytellers, but they're working on the wrong side. Getting all of us on the same page, getting there's this goal that we're working towards a stable climate is what's important. So I've made a first step at this. I just published my Gas Wars meme. It's available today on the 6529 network. You can think of this as this is a first step. This is like turning the key in the lock. This is like opening the door. This is like the very, very, very beginning of this. How do we discover memes that work for billions of people? I worked on it with Purin Bonifant, who he's an artist, he's a designer. We worked together, even going back to some of the original branding and colors and design of what AirMiners was. You can buy a copy of this meme if you want, but this is my example. I want to see more things like this, make memes about how we get to a stable climate, what life is like when we do get there. This meme is available. It's something you can buy on the 652 network. And I encourage you to think of this as this is a first step towards how do we discover memes that work for billions of people that have us reverse climate change. Is this it? Maybe. I kind of think it's probably not. But this is a first step towards that. This is my example of I want to see more things like this. Make more memes about how we get to a stable climate, about what life is like when we do have a stable climate. These are some touch points for you. And when you're thinking about what's next, here's a couple things. We have the AirMiners Slack channel. There's a memes channel where you can post memes, you can see memes, you can talk with people about it. We also have the on LinkedIn the carbon removal memes lab. The working group for that, it's a private group on AirMiners Slack. So if you want to be added to that, hit reply or write on the memes channel and we'll get you added to that. And the carbon removal meme lab was originally part of Nori. So you can join in on that. And you can also follow this carbon removal memes channel on LinkedIn. If you get a meme you like from somewhere else, send it to me. I love memes. Sometimes they're super funny. Sometimes they're just like they get right to the point. I love it. And I have this favorite crab meme that was up on the removal memes channel the other day. And this was, I'm going to read it because I love it. I've got a copy of it on my wall. It says silence doomer. It's a crab with laser eyes blasting another crab. And also backed up by direct air capture machines, sentient trees, and piles of biochar. And the laser eye crab says, silence doomer. Your cynicism and hopelessness only serves to protect the status quo of fossil fuel extraction. It's never too late to fight for our planet. Like, I love that. I would love to see someday soon a Guardian article that's kind of the flip of this forgotten oil advertisement article, but instead one that features that crab and others. Here's the memes we discovered that finally had the world and billions of people take action on reversing climate change. So you've got those touch points. I look forward to hearing from you about that. And we're going to pick up our conversation on goals with reversing climate change. And I'm going to get a message out later today about that.